All right, YouTube, got a quick one for you today. Okay, now, probably like myself, a lot of you out there are tired of hearing about Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, right? But recently, Mayweather, he crawled out from underneath that rock and, making noise again, because here's what it is. We all know, the dude cannot stand to be out of the limelight, right? He's got to try to steal, other people's thunder, their attention. He can't stand it. So he can't stand the fact that Manny Pacquiao right now is being talked about around the world. It's just he's jealous. That's what it boils down to. Jealousy, right? Okay, so now they're even making the claim that Manny Pacquiao could be one fight away from the pound-for-pound best, or at least making that argument. Even Max Kellerman, put together a really good argument, Manny Pacquiao being considered the current pound-for-pound number one. You got Lomachenko in there, you got Canelo, of course. A lot of people make that claim, but that's not really what the video is about today. But if Pacquiao was the pound for pound number one, it would be the third time in his, nearly or roughly 20-year career, okay? The third time. I mean, that just shows you how long this guy has been around. So, anyway, you're looking at a picture right here, fight night. I was watching the pay-per-view, so I thought it was kind of fitting. Pacquiao beat Thurman. Of course, you got Muhammad Ali in the background over there on one of my pictures. So, yeah, but we'll talk about that later. In fact, I do want to do like a pound-for-pound list, okay? But look, let's get into what Mayweather said, okay? Someone wrote, "The GOAT has spoken." Okay. Anyway, I find it real ironic how every time Pacquiao's name is brought up in the media, my name is always attached to it. The man's entire legacy and career has been built off its association with my name, and it's about time you all stop using my brand for clout chasing and clickbait, okay? Which is completely false, okay? We'll break it down in a minute. So, clickbait, and he says, and let the man's name hold weight on its own. Basically saying, look, Pacquiao's been using my name, forever to make a name for himself. But that's total BS. Now, look, in fact, in my opinion, Mayweather being attached to Manny Pacquiao's name, because it is, they're both attached to one another, I think it is a blemish on Pacquiao's record and resume and his legacy, to be completely honest with you. So the dude's got it twisted like 10 ways from Sunday. Okay, but what's funny is, when we finally fought, I won so easily that everyone had to eat their words. Okay, this is Mayweather. All of the so-called boxing experts, critics, and jealous American fan base either went mute and ran for cover or made every excuse in the world as to why I should give Manny Pacquiao a rematch. My take on all this bullshit is that y'all are just upset that I broke Rocky Marciano's record and hate the fact that a black high school dropout outsmarted you all by beating all odds and retiring undefeated while maintaining all my faculties simply by making smart choices and blah, 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 investment, blah, blah, blah. I will always have the last laugh. Now, okay, I mean, look, I don't have time right now to break down Mayweather's resume and all of that. And I have before, like, how many guys did he actually fight in their prime? Okay, how many guys did he pull up? He even said, he was an opportunistic fighter. This is coming from Mayweather, right? He fought guys at the right time. And he says, well, don't blame me for being an intelligent fighter. I'm a businessman first and a fighter second. That's why Mayweather will never go down in history as the great, as the GOAT. Never. I mean, in fact, it's laughable when people talk about it. Even hardcore Mayweather fans, it's laughable because his resume is so easy to tear apart. And I think he's incredibly jealous, right? I mean, this dude is over there fighting some pizza delivery dude for $9 million, and Manny Pacquiao is fighting a young, Keith Thurman, a prime welterweight in their prime, right? So, he's got to look right now. He looks bad. I mean, Pacquiao is making Mayweather look bad, and that's exactly what it is. So, And then Mayweather went on to say, let me find it real quick. He was talking about how, you know what, I'm not going to read it. He said, basically, you know, I'm your boss. You work for me. You know, I was at your fight because I wanted to basically, you know, supervise my employees, right? He's like, I'm there because I'm your boss. And, you know, I'm checking up on my people, right? You know, the little people, because I'm the head honcho. That's basically what Mayweather is claiming. Pacquiao says, you come to my fight and then use my name in a post, but I'm the one that is trying to stay relevant. If you want to be relevant again, hashtag Maypac2. Completely agree. By the way, throwback, Mayweather received banned IV fluids before the Pacquiao fight. Okay, you know, let's talk about it for a minute. First of all, a lot of people had Manny Pacquiao winning, including myself. I felt the fight should have been a draw. You know, if you go back, count punches, whatever, you could even give it to Manny Pacquiao. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you know, Mayweather took, you know, the banned IV fluids before the Pacquiao fight. Number two. Number three, you know, Pacquiao indeed 100% fact had the shoulder injury. That is not an excuse. If Mayweather had the same injury, I would tell you that Mayweather had the shoulder injury. I mean, so, you know, look, not excuses, but I will say I felt like Manny Pacquiao, he should have performed a lot better fight night, you know, during the Mayweather fight. I will say that, but that doesn't mean that he lost or whatever. And it wasn't like some one-sided fight where Mayweather completely put on a clinic like he did against Canelo or whoever, right? So, you know, it was a very close and tough fight to call, you know. So I guess I don't like how Mayweather acts like he just completely annihilated Pacquiao. I mean, that is not the case. So right here, Manny Pacquiao, excuse me, Floyd, your name has not been on any of my PBC contracts, but if you would like to be on the next one, I will have one drawn up and sent to you, hashtag counterfeit money. Okay, you know, Pacquiao, you know, firing back saying, hey, you're not my boss. I've got contracts. It doesn't say Mayweather on there. In fact, you know, you now have Manny Pacquiao Promotions, and that was a part of the deal that Pacquiao goes with Al Heyman with PBC, that he can include, you know, his stable of fighters and build them up, kind of like Gennady Golovkin is doing with DAZN. You now have, you know, Gennady Golovkin Promotions. Well, Manny Pacquiao, you know, he's starting his own brand. He's basically evolving into a promoter, you know, so he's doing what Mayweather, you know, wants to do. He not only is he staying relevant, but the you know, fans worldwide love him to death, and you know, again, we can make the case that he can be pound for pound number one. Look, one fight away. If he can fight a Crawford or, you know, one more victory, maybe a Spence, which I think is incredibly dangerous. But I'd like to see a Pacquiao Crawford. If he can beat one of these guys, yes, in my mind, he is pound for pound numero uno, right? Let me go. Look, here's what I had to do. I had to like do a copy and paste and go to my messenger. I know this is like crap. I'm sorry. Forgive me. But I couldn't find another way to get this information to you. But it goes all the way back. You guys can see it goes all the way back to 1970. You know, you got Frazier, Muhammad Ali, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. Let's just keep going. I'm gonna fast forward. Roy Jones, right here. Mayweather, right there in 2011. Okay, let me go back. Okay, Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao 2010, right? Okay, for pound for pound number one. Okay, 2016, again, you know, you got Manny Pacquiao. And of course, right now in 2019, they're making the argument that Pacquiao could be considered pound for pound again for a third time in his 20-year career. And really, you could probably make the argument this could be the fourth time. I mean, if you really go back, if you want to delve deep in his career, you know, you could probably make that argument. It's more than 2 or 3 times, you know, easily. I mean, it would be an easy-ass argument to make. So, you know, I just wanted to kind of talk about that for a minute. I don't like how, you know, Mayweather is, he's using Pacquiao, you know, because he feels that, you know, he's not getting his shine, right? I mean, all the guy can do is get on Instagram or Twitter and show a bunch of money and, you know, oh, I got a big old stack of $100 bills and I'm rich. I mean, that's all that's his gimmick. Like, he's like a one-trick pony, right? I mean, that's it. That's all the guy can do is flaunt, you know, big bands of $100 bills. That's it. Meanwhile, Manny Pacquiao is an active champion. You know, I mean, It's night and day, people, night and day. And I'm not hating on Mayweather. Again, I bring you guys facts, okay? And that's it. I mean, and I think a lot of my reporting is misconstrued as like, hate or, I'm being biased or whatever, but it's not. It's simply not. I mean, I tell you the truth. And the truth is, Mayweather, he's incredibly jealous of Manny Pacquiao right now. And it's got to hurt. It's got to hurt. Mayweather's basically, turning like this old fat man, it's like, spending millions of dollars and crap. And then you got Manny Pacquiao out here, wiping the floor with these young prime athletes. I mean, yeah, it's got to sting a little bit. It's got to hurt just a little bit. I would imagine if I'm Mayweather. I mean, so what does he do? What does he do? He puts out a bunch of crap, about how, oh, you're using my name. I mean, really? Think about this for a minute. When did Mayweather's name even come up in the Thurman-Pacquiao promotion? I mean, the only thing that really happened with Mayweather was he showed up at the fight, in a very pathetic manner. He got up in the ring and tried to basically what do you call it? Photo bomb. He did like this photo bomb. Anytime Pacquiao's taking a picture, Mayweather would try to kind of get in the background like a little photo bomb. I mean, that's all the dude did. It was quite pathetic, absolutely. And then Tank Davis fought on Showtime last weekend. Same thing. It's like Mayweather had to crawl up in the ring, and show his face because he has to be in the spotlight, and it is pathetic. And like I said, one trick pony. All the guy can do is show a bunch of money and try to stay relevant. And the truth is, he's quickly fading in the boxing history book. So, and meanwhile, Pacquiao is thriving, absolutely thriving. You could make the argument that Pacquiao is more popular and more relevant today than he was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, definitely 20 years ago. So, yeah, it's got to hurt.